wondering if you could fill in the blank for me. About every day now I get comments from whiny crybabies. About things that they think that they can't live without on their camera. I wonder if you could fill in the blank for me of like 5 things. If you can't think of 5, that's okay. 5 things that you think a professional photographer can live without. Say, like he goes to a photo shoot and he only brings 1 camera, which a professional never does. He always has like... People ask me, says, why do you got 2 copies of that camera? It's like, here's the reason why. Something always breaks. Redundancy, redundancy, redundancy. I've written a lot of articles about hard drive and data redundancy. It's all about redundancy. Redundancy is God. If, for example, a professional photographer to go on a pro shoot and a particular feature of their camera just took a dump on itself, and maybe the photographer with his skills or her skills would say, fuck it, don't need it. Get by without it, just fine. What do you think the top 5 things are? Can you fill in the blanks? Number 1 would be, for me, IBIS, in-body image stabilization. Got by with it for these many decades without needing it at all. Now, don't try to engage a hyperbolic fallacy and say, well, if you want to do that, then shit, you could shoot a pinhole camera, you know? Just like, remember back in the old days, they actually just take the lens cap off and go 1/1000, 2 1 thing, and they put the cap back on. Don't engage that sort of hyperbolic crap with me. Just list what you think the top 3, 4, 5 things that if a pro only had 1 camera and he showed up on a gig and that particular feature went, you're like, screw it, I can still do the shoot, no problem. IBIS would be one of them. A touch screen would be one of them. If my exposure meter were to conk out, I don't give a crap. I've always got a light meter in my camera bag. Always have a light meter. I've got 8 light meters. I actually collect some of the older ones, and I'm not even counting the older ones that I actually will find for like $5 in a flea market or something like that. I'm not even counting those. Those are kind of neat little things that you collect, at least for me anyway. So I have IBIS, touch screen, and my meter completely breaking down. If you're used to looking at something enough, and you know your camera halfway decent, you're like, yeah, this is ISO 400 at f4 at 1/200th of a second. I mean, usually you're not off by a stop and a half. Really, you're not. And considering everything now is ISO-less technology on your RAW files, this is the reason why you shoot RAW. One of the many reasons why you shoot RAW files. So, IBIS, my meter breaking down, the touch screen on my D500, which I actually only use that for actually pinching and dragging images on chimping. Bunch of other features. I don't need image stabilization. I don't. Is that necessary for dark shooting? And it's absolutely incredible in my Nikkor 200-500. That lens is just unbelievable. You know, the image stabilization is incredible. Can I live without it? Sure as hell can. You know, if it conked out of my lens and the lens would only autofocus, like, so what? You know, got a tripod, got a monopod, don't want to use it, rather do it handheld. It's a lot less cumbersome. Still do it, no problem. I got tons of huge lenses that don't even have autofocus, much less image stabilization. I said, if the hardcore pro shows up at a photo shoot and is like, this broke on his camera, what are the top 3 or 5 things that you can think of that you're like, fuck it, you know, so what? Still do the gig, no problem. However, you should always have a redundant camera. Usually it's not one, it's usually almost never like one thing like that would break. When your camera takes a crap on itself, it's like, it's dead. I need another camera. I'm talking about a hypothetical here. You know, if these specific things died on your camera, what are the things that you think? Fill in the blank for me. And then rethink. This is the same kind of stuff that applies to life. It's like if you know you've only got like 24 hours left to live, all that stuff in life that you thought was important, you immediately go, fuck it, that shit wasn't important. You know, I've only got 24 hours left to live. What are the things that you're going to do or say in the next 24 hours? Only that shit's important. That's kind of the same stuff that applies to photography. It is. It's the exact same stuff. You're like, fuck it, it doesn't matter. You know, I've got the skills. I don't need it. That shit ain't important. So, Why don't you fill in the list for me if you feel capable? And then maybe rethink all that stuff that you think that's really important. Well, I love it. I use it now, and now I rely on it. I know that's exactly what someone's going to say. Like, yeah, but I'm using it for years now, and I really rely on it, and you can't get by without it. Shut the fuck up. Give me a break, will you? I know that's what someone's going to say. Yeah, but I rely on it now. My pro work relies on it. Yeah, baby. Grow a pair. Thanks for watching. Bye. I've been out in the sun all day. My brain is fried. Not that sort of fried. Fried from sunburn. Sun bleached. That's one of the other things that happens when you live in Florida. When you live down here, you look around at all the old people and you go, skin cancer, cataracts, skin cancer, cataracts, skin cancer, cataracts, skin cancer, cataracts.